I am guaranteeing you that Adam Silver and the other WNBA owners will emerge victorious from this negotiation because the WNBPA, the Players Association, is an outright mess.
The war is over. It is officially over. The WNBA Players Association has completely lost the collective bargaining agreement. They did not lose because they lacked leverage. They did not lose because the billionaire owners refused to open their checkbooks. They lost because they got completely, utterly, and ruthlessly outsmarted. We are witnessing the most spectacular psychological collapse in the modern history of sports labor relations. The union leadership walked into a room with corporate sharks. They thought they were holding all the cards. They thought the Caitlin Clark economy made them invincible. They thought they could bully a syndicate of billionaires. They were wrong, dead wrong. They fell into a massive, heavily calculated psychological trap, and they are currently bleeding out on the floor of the boardroom. Welcome to the breakdown. Get your popcorn ready. We are about to expose the ultimate corporate masterstroke. We are going to reveal the sheer brilliance of the fake deadline. We are going to dissect the catastrophic internal leak that destroyed the union, and we are going to show you exactly why the WNBPA is desperately, pathetically lying to the public to cover up their own destruction. To understand this absolute slaughter, you have to look at the architect of the trap. You have to look at Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, the proxy leader of the WNBA ownership groups. Silver is a corporate grandmaster. He does not negotiate with emotion. He does not care about public relations stunts. He negotiates using pure, unadulterated human psychology. He watched the WNBA Players Union launch their aggressive social media campaigns. He watched them demand 27% of the gross revenue. He watched them act tough. But Silver knew the ultimate weakness of any labor union: fear. Pure, unfiltered, economic fear. Silver knew that 80% of the WNBA was sitting in unrestricted free agency. He knew that the middle-class players were utterly dependent on their next paycheck. He knew they could not actually afford a strike, so he did not fight them over the money. He fought them over the calendar. He stepped up to a microphone during All-Star Weekend, and he executed a psychological kill shot. Listen closely to the absolute brilliance of Adam Silver's strategy. Listen to former sports executive David Sampson expose the terrifying reality of the March 10th deadline.
Says this is a statement from today from the executive committee. In every CBA negotiation, the goal of the league and teams is to divide the players. These negotiations are no different.
That day was pulled out of thin air. It was created to create an end date, which creates urgency. Boom. That is exactly how you break a union. You invent a deadline. You pull a date completely out of the sky. You attach a massive, terrifying consequence to it. You look the players directly in the eyes and you say, if you do not sign a deal by March 10th, the season is delayed and there is a real problem. Is March 10th an actual, legal deadline? Absolutely not. The WNBA season does not start until May. They could theoretically negotiate through April, but the owners did not want to negotiate through April. They wanted to induce a state of absolute, unmanageable panic, and it worked. It worked flawlessly. The moment Adam Silver dropped the March 10th deadline, the WNBA locker rooms completely shattered. The psychological pressure cooker exploded. The veteran players realized their bluff was being called. The rookies realized their paychecks were evaporating. And the highest-ranking officers in the Players Union completely lost their minds. Kelsey Plum and Breanna Stewart, the vice presidents of the WNBPA, panicked. They cracked under the pressure. Instead of holding the line, they drafted a massive 3-page letter of complaint. They aimed it directly at their own executive director, Terry Carmichael Jackson. They accused her of keeping them in the dark. They accused her of failing to communicate. They staged an internal mutiny. But staging a mutiny is not the fatal error. The fatal error was allowing that mutiny to see the light of day. The letter leaked, it hit the front page of ESPN. The entire world suddenly knew that the WNBA union was tearing itself apart from the inside. Listen to the unforgiving, brutally honest reality of corporate warfare. Listen to David Sampson explain the absolute deadliest mistake a labor union can ever make.
NBA has emerged victorious in its battle against the Players Association, while you have not read that there has been a settlement.
When you have a problem within your union, you cannot let anyone else know, because once the other side knows about the fracture, they use an expander to open your chest cavity and expose your beating heart. Stop the tape. That is the cold, dark reality of billion-dollar negotiations. You never, ever show the enemy your throat. When Kelsey Plum and Breanna Stewart allowed their internal panic to leak to the sports media, they handed the billionaire owners the ultimate weapon. The owners were sitting in their luxury suites, they were watching ESPN. They read the leaked letter, and they immediately smiled. They realized the union was completely terrified. They realized the fake March 10th deadline had successfully broken the spirit of the executive committee. In corporate negotiations, if the other side knows you are internally fractured, they will never offer you another dime. They will never compromise. They will simply cross their arms, lean back in their chairs, and wait for you to surrender. The owners now know that the players do not trust their own leadership. They know the players are desperate to get on the basketball court. The leverage has completely permanently evaporated. This is not a prediction. This is an undeniable corporate fact. The battle is already over. The ink just has not dried yet. Listen to the definitive, absolute guarantee, delivered by a man who spent decades executing these exact same ruthless strategies against professional athletes.
Panic on behalf of the players. And when you know that you've got a problem within your union, there's one thing you can't do. You can't let anyone else know that.
I am guaranteeing you that Adam Silver and the WNBA owners will emerge victorious from this negotiation because the Players Association is an outright mess. Checkmate, the game is over. The WNBA Players Association has been exposed as a disorganized, deeply incompetent organization. They tried to play high-stakes poker with private equity billionaires, and they ended up setting their own chips on fire. But the story does not end with the surrender. The story gets infinitely darker. Because when a deeply arrogant, highly publicized organization completely fails on the world stage, they do not simply apologize and walk away. They attempt to cover it up. They attempt to spin the narrative. They attempt to lie directly to the faces of the people who pay their salaries. The union executive committee realized that the leaked letter had completely destroyed their credibility. They realized the fans were laughing at them. They realized the agents were staging hostile takeovers. So they panicked again. They hastily drafted an emergency public relations statement. They posted it on social media. They tried to aggressively push a completely fabricated narrative of unshakable solidarity. They tried to glue the shattered vase back together and pretend it was never broken. Listen to the sheer, unadulterated desperation of this PR statement. Listen to the exact words the union leadership is using to gaslight the entire basketball ecosystem.
Sure that we're clear about that? When Adam Silver stood up after the All-Star game during his media availability during All-Star weekend and said, and we have a deadline on March 10th, or there could be a delay and there's going to be a real problem.
In every CBA negotiation, the goal of the league is to divide the players. We remain united and focused. Stop right there. Let us rip that statement completely to shreds. The goal of the league is to divide the players. No, the league did not divide you. Adam Silver did not hack into your email servers and force Kelsey Plum and Breanna Stewart to write a mutinous letter. The league did not force your own players to go on social media and complain about the executive committee. The league did not force 10 powerful sports agents to bypass your authority. You divided yourselves. You allowed your massive egos, your terrible communication, and your radicalized labor theories to tear your own locker rooms apart. And then, the union attempted to execute the oldest, most transparent trick in the public relations playbook. They released the results of an internal player survey. They proudly announced that 84% of the players voted to reject the owner's 15% revenue offer. They used this statistic to claim that the players are fully prepared to keep negotiating. They used it to claim the strike is still on the table. This is a complete, manufactured illusion. In the world of political polling and corporate PR, this is known as a push poll. You intentionally design the question to mathematically guarantee the specific answer you want. If the union leadership sends out a survey and asks, do you want to accept a measly 15%, or do you want your union to keep fighting for the respect you deserve? Of course, 84% of the players will click the button that says keep fighting. It is an emotionally manipulative question. But what if the union asked the actual, mathematically honest question? What if the survey said, are you fully prepared to miss your first 3 paychecks of the 2026 season, lose your free apartment in New York City, and risk a permanent lockout, all to fight for a gross revenue percentage that the owners will never agree to? If they asked that question, the 84% would instantly flip. The middle-class players would overwhelmingly vote to accept the deal. The survey is a smokescreen. It is a desperate attempt by Nneka Ogwumike and Terry Carmichael Jackson to prove they still have power, when the entire world knows they have absolutely none, and the ultimate victim in this massive, deeply toxic corporate circus is the exact same economic engine that the union is trying to hijack. Caitlin Clark, the WNBPA is actively, intentionally sabotaging the absolute greatest momentum the sport has ever seen. The television networks just handed the league $2.2 billion specifically to broadcast Caitlin Clark. The expansion franchises in Toronto and Portland just paid astronomical entry fees specifically to exist in the Caitlin Clark economy. The fans are desperately craving the product, but the veteran leadership of the union is willing to burn it all down. They are willing to threaten a massive season-ending strike. They are willing to alienate millions of new fans. They are willing to destroy the entire structural foundation of the league, all because they are too arrogant to admit they got completely outmaneuvered by Adam Silver. They are holding the Caitlin Clark stimulus package hostage, demanding a ransom that the billionaires will never pay. The fake deadline of March 10th was a psychological weapon of mass destruction. The union walked right into the trap. They panicked, they fractured, they leaked their own vulnerabilities, and now they are backed into a corner, completely stripped of their leverage, desperately tweeting out fake surveys to maintain the illusion of strength. The owners are not going to move. The owners are going to sit back, watch the calendar turn to March 10th, and wait for the WNBA Players Association to officially surrender. The war is over, the billionaires won, and the union has absolutely no one to blame but themselves. What is your completely unvarnished, highly analytical take on this spectacular corporate collapse? Do you believe Adam Silver's fake March 10th deadline was a brilliant psychological masterstroke that completely broke the union? Do you agree with David Sampson that leaking the internal letter was the fatal mistake that handed the owners the ultimate victory? And more importantly, do you believe the union's PR statement claiming they are united is a complete, desperate lie designed to cover up their massive internal civil war? Drop your completely unfiltered, brutal analysis in the comments section below. If you want the uncompromising truth about the real business, the real strategy, and the real cutthroat corporate politics of professional sports, hit that subscribe button, brutally smash the like button, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a deep dive. We do not do mainstream media fluff on this channel. We expose the leverage, we investigate the psychological warfare, and we reveal the terrifying corporate mathematics behind the press conferences. I will see you all in the next breakdown.